A team enters a forbidden island to collect blood from the world's largest dinosaurs, but the island is filled with failed experiments. Years before the team arrives, a single mistake turns the laboratory into a death trap. A genetics company called InGen creates mutated dinosaurs inside a secret island laboratory. A candy wrapper is pulled into an airlock and shuts down the security system. One worker becomes trapped behind a sealed door. Before anyone can save him, a dinosaur drags him away. Years pass, and by 2027, most dinosaurs are gone. The few that remain live near the equator, inside forbidden zones. Martin hires Zora, an experienced mercenary. His company needs blood from 3 giant dinosaurs to complete a cure for heart disease, one from the land, one from the sea, and one from the sky. The payment convinces Zora to accept. They recruit dinosaur expert Dr. Henry Loomis. At first, Henry refuses the dangerous mission, but the chance to see living dinosaurs changes his mind. In Suriname, they hire Duncan, an experienced captain, to take them into the forbidden zone. Henry prepares special darts that collect blood without killing the dinosaurs. Once a dart fills, the sample falls back using a small parachute. With everything ready, the team sails toward the island, but another boat is already in the Mosasaurus's path. Ruben is sailing with his family when a massive Mosasaurus attacks their boat. They jump into the water, while one passenger becomes trapped inside. He escapes just before the boat sinks and rejoins the others. The next morning, Zora's team receives the family's emergency signal. Martin wants to ignore it, but Zora and Duncan refuse. They rescue the survivors, but the Mosasaurus returns before they can escape. Zora prepares one of Henry's special darts. Her first shot misses. When the Mosasaurus attacks again, she fires a second dart and hits it. The vial fills with blood and floats back on a small parachute. They have the first sample. Before they can escape, several Spinosauruses appear beside the Mosasaurus. Bobby, the security chief, shoots at them, but the bullets are useless. One Spinosaurus grabs him and pulls him into the water. The remaining survivors rush to escape. During the chaos, Ruben's daughter Teresa falls overboard, and her boyfriend Xavier jumps after her. Ruben follows with his younger daughter, Isabella, as Duncan steers towards shallow rocks where the predators cannot follow. The boat crashes and explodes, forcing everyone to swim ashore. When a crew member reaches for supplies, a Spinosaurus attacks and kills her. On the island, Martin warns them that InGen's old experiments may have changed every dinosaur living there. The attack leaves the survivors separated. Ruben's family follows old pipes deeper into the island, hoping they lead to the abandoned InGen station. Along the way, Isabella finds a small harmless dinosaur and names it Dolores. Meanwhile, Zora's team enters the jungle to collect the next blood sample. The ground begins to shake as a herd of giant titanosaurs enters the valley. Zora fires one of Henry's darts into the largest dinosaur. The vial fills with blood and parachutes back to the team. They now have the land sample. Ruben's injured leg slows his family down. When they find an emergency raft near a river, Teresa crosses to retrieve it, but a sleeping T-Rex wakes when the raft inflates. The family paddles away, but the dinosaur follows them into the water. It flips the raft and nearly catches Isabella before the family reaches a narrow, rocky area it cannot enter. Zora's team climbs a high cliff where Quetzalcoatlus eggs are hidden inside an ancient temple. Because the adult dinosaur is too dangerous to approach, Henry collects blood from one of the eggs, but the mother returns before they can escape. She attacks the team and kills Clerk. The blood vial falls to the ground, but Henry grabs it. Then his rope breaks, sending him into the river with the final sample. Both groups continue toward the abandoned InGen buildings. By evening, Ruben's family reaches the station and calls for help. Zora's team hears them, and the survivors finally reunite. Teresa accuses Martin of leaving her to die. He pulls out a gun, grabs the blood samples, and cuffs the case to his wrist. Before the confrontation continues, the old generator turns on. Lights and music fill the station, attracting something hiding in the darkness. 2 mutated predators emerge from the darkness and attack the station. The attack splits the group. Isabella becomes trapped with Dolores, but Ruben distracts the creature long enough for her to escape. His family escapes through a hatch into the tunnels beneath the island. Henry and Duncan take shelter inside an abandoned laboratory. There, they find mutated dinosaur specimens and maps of tunnels leading toward the docks. Outside, Zora and Martin hide from a mutated near an old jeep. Then, a rescue helicopter appears above the island. Henry and Duncan fire a flare to guide the helicopter toward them, but before it can land, a huge mutated T-Rex known as the Distortus Rex attacks. It destroys the helicopter, ending their only chance of rescue. Meanwhile, Henry, Duncan, Ruben, and the others move through the tunnels toward the docks. Zora catches up with them and kills the Mutodon chasing them. Together, they continue toward the docks. The group reaches a locked gate near the docks. Isabella squeezes through the bars and opens it from the other side. Then the Distortus Rex appears. Martin tries to escape in a jeep with the blood samples still attached to his wrist. The dinosaur stops the vehicle and kills him. Zora recovers the sample case and runs with the others. The survivors finally reach the docks, but the escape boat is still hanging above the water. Behind them, the Distortus Rex charges closer. Henry notices that the creature follows bright light. Duncan lights a flare and runs away from the others. The dinosaur turns and chases him toward the dark water. While Duncan keeps it distracted, Zora cuts the chain holding the boat. Everyone quickly climbs aboard. Ruben tries to start the engine, but it fails. The Distortus Rex charges toward the boat. At the last second, the engine starts and they speed away. They believe Duncan is dead. Then they see his flare burning in the water. Duncan is still alive, pull him aboard, and finally escape the island together. By morning, all 3 blood samples are safe. Henry refuses to let Martin's company sell the cure only to the rich. Instead, he decides to share it with the entire world.